Okay, and look, we got a lot done on the family table. There's his father. Oh, look, if you want to know somebody's ID, there it is. You want to know what kind of name that is? Well, we didn't have a birth name for Preston, so we give him his code name instead. That's what we're using, his code name. He's like 007. All right, now the mother, Rolanda Alcaraz, here's her ID. That's a birth name. Now we got all these partners for this guy, Rick Rob Roseman, number 5588. So here you got every family that he has on the same family table, which is unique to Tree Bark. We want to see the whole story, and it's beautiful. It works. And look at this. We got a birth date. We can add a birth date here. There's a death date. We can add a death date here. Death date, let's just say 1899. There you go. That's how easy that is. We're just going to go, let's see, how about 1845? Well, I don't know, maybe he's born on the 19th. 19th of what? Well, okay, let's say April. Oops, April. But we're not sure, so let's say that's an estimated date. Let's say he's born AD. You don't have to say AD unless it's not AD, in which case you have to say BC. But anyway, that looks pretty bad, doesn't it? And we put those things in random order. Oh my goodness, what happened? It went down and organized itself. It got sorted by date. Look at that. It also formatted itself. Estimated 19 April 1845. Isn't that neat and sweet and pretty and beautiful? You can do the same thing down here. Let's give this guy a date. Oh, this is an offspring. Oh, who? Oh, look at that. That's John Sparrow. John Sparrow, where is he? Oh, look at that. Oh, he has no birth name also. Now, let me tell you, there's 4 John Sparrows in this database, but we know which one this is right now. That's number 5990 because they each got their own ID, and there's an ID tip telling you what it is. All right, so this is John Sparrow. He's an offspring of Rick Rob Roseman. And up there, we find out he's also an offspring of Alpha Skidmore, the child's mother. All right. Okay, so let's see if we can give him a birth date. Let's just say 1920. It doesn't matter. And it worked. Look at that. It sorted itself right here in the table. This table is sorted by date, and it moved up here. There's John Sparrow right there, and there's John Sparrow's birth date right there. Let's give him a gender, why don't we? Let's say he's male. That's convenient. All right, look at that. Isn't that pretty? I just get all excited about this. This is working really good now. I've been working so hard. Can you tell? Do I sound tired? All right, well, it doesn't matter. Let's go over here. Uh, Preferences, Alt-E. Let's see, Alt-E works. Look at that. Now we're going to go dates, Alt-D. That works too. Now here we have a place where we can play with dates. You go, let's say, about 1942. Doesn't matter what order you put this stuff, you put in any order. You say February 21. Okay. Oh, look at that. Now you want to change the way these dates appear. You've got all these options here. For your main option, you've got this kind of stuff. These are your options. This is how it's going to look like when it's formatted. All right, right now we got the default option is on top here. So you could say estimated in 3 different ways. Okay, or I mean, this is the formatting. This is how it's going to be formatted. All right, you can say about or approximate in 5 different ways. This is the default, the one on top. Okay, well, we're going to change the general way that dates are displayed. Let's change it to this old American looking way. April 18, 1906. Okay, submit preferences. Now we're going to go type this date in again. In 1942, about 21. Type this in any order, It's just fine. Oh, look what happened. We changed the way that everything looks. Look at that. Now what happens over here? Control S to remake this. Look at that. This is your place where you set things. You change this to CA. Submit preferences. Go over here. Control S. It just redraws the table. Oh my goodness, look what happened. There's your CA. It changed from ABT to CA also. Revert to default values. Okay, go back here, Control S to redraw the table. It's back to about. Tree bar is not about tree bar. It's about genealogy. Who's this Nina person? Let's double click her name. Oh, look at that. Now she's a current person. That's a brand new feature. I wrote that about 5 minutes ago. Okay, now you got your particulars. That's for detail like stuff. That's that's going to be saved. You see, it's all saved. I went Control S, redrew the table. Can't change the birth date. I mean, the age of birth is going to be 0, but you can change the age over here to anything you want. So 77. This events table is incredible and amazing. It's actually a conclusions table in TreeBard. You're going to have your assertions and your conclusions. This is for your conclusions. For your assertions, you're going to click over here and it's going to open up a dialog under sources. This is going to show you all your sources and assertions. Assertions is what your sources say. We'll get into that later. Over here you got your roles and notes. Roles are a big part of TreeBard because we say that all these people are important. They're all in the database. You can track all these people same as you track anybody else. They're not related, but I mean they could be related. You never know. You can put neighbors in here. You can put anybody that's involved in this event. We call it a conclusion. This event, which is a wedding, there's the date it happened, the place it happened, and the particulars about that. Same stuff you see here. See, the groom arranged the music for the wedding. It reappears here, so we know what we're talking about. Oh my goodness, this is so interesting. And there's her ID. Well, that's handy, because look at down here. We're going to edit John Smith. John Smith, I got about 10 John Smiths, and here we don't have to look up his ID. It's right there. We just point at it. Oh my goodness, that's his stage name. Okay, we'll cancel that. You can change all this stuff. We're going to do that later. We can make a new role. There's a, let's see, we're talking about a wedding. So let's say there's a bartender at this wedding. In TreeBard, we do not have first name, last name set up. First name, middle name, last name, all that. Because that's so very, waspish. That's how our culture does stuff, or I should say my culture does stuff with first names, middle names, last names, advertising by last name, etc., etc. We don't necessarily do things that way in TreeBard. You can, and there's nothing wrong with it. But say, for example, in Iceland, they got a whole different way of doing names here in Iceland. In fact, you got to have a name that works with their system, or your name is actually illegal to have. So we want to be real flexible and not expect other people to use our system of first name, middle name, last name. So your name is one string. Bye.